The ancient elves were spirits who voluntarily manifested a physical form.
I'd rather go back to talking about the Blight.
Hey, Lucanus. Could Spite turn into an elf?
No.
Sorry, but... what?
We hid the truth for as long as we could, but yes, Balara, Davron, and I have secretly been spirits this whole time.
Not funny.
I don't know. Sounds like something a rage demon would say.
You're going to confuse Tosh.
What? I wasn't listening. There weren't any dragons in this one.
To be clear, this memory only shows that the first elves originated from spirits. You three are no more spirits than anyone else conceived naturally.
Conceived naturally? Guess I'll go ask my mother.
The knowledge that an entire people were formed from a mass manifestation could change our entire understanding of magic.
If we let it out, is that the right call? Do you want bigoted humans yelling about how elves are demons?
Davron's got a point. World's not short on small-minded humans.
I don't think people will care right now. We got evil gods trying to destroy the world.
Evil, elven, blighted gods. Don't forget.
We have to tell someone, though. Strife and Irulan, at least.
If I told Thea and Viago, they'd think I was sampling Viago's poison collection. No one will believe us.
Okay, we keep this to people we trust who have good reason to know. No shouting it from the rooftops.
Agreed. The Morn Watch has a great deal of experience keeping dangerous secrets.
So, beyond the world-shaking stuff, what else did we learn here? Solus himself was a spirit.
What kind do you think he was?
Well, his name is Elven for pride.
Oh, okay.
There's something else. Not about spirits, or not all about them at least. Solus didn't want to become a person with a physical body.
Right. He only agreed after Mathal begged him.
Then that's his regret. He wishes he'd never taken physical form.
Maybe, but not just that. Solus was scared. They built their bodies out of lyrium, and it made the ground shake.
You think the ground shaking was the Titans?
It makes sense, doesn't it? Something was hurting them, taking their blood.
So they struck back, like we'd swat a stinging bug.
The first memory we saw, with Elgarnon seizing power, it happened at the end of a war.
A war between the Titans and the elves.
And we just saw how it started.
It feels like we still don't have the full picture. But I think that's part of what Solus regrets. He didn't see the danger.
Except he did. He was worried, you said it yourself.
He did it for Mithal. Everything that followed, he could have prevented, if he just told her no.
And he's got a war on his conscience. Plus whatever we find next.
Have you created what we need?
With this, the proper ritual will sunder every Titan from its spirit. But you must know those severed dreams will certainly be driven mad. A disembodied blight of pain and anger. It is awful what we're doing.
And the only way to end this war.
Solus made the weapon that killed the Titans. No, not killed. He cut away their dreams and left them broken and mindless. He passed me in the halls of Skyhold for a year. He made polite conversation, and he knew. He knew what he did.
Lace, what my people did to yours, that's unforgivable.
You don't need to apologize.
Well, someone should.
Our leaders attacked the Titans for their lyrium. Then, when the war turned against the elves, our leaders did this.
And when the war was over, they enslaved your ancestors. No. Solus, Mythal, and Elgernon are the ones who need to apologize.
To do such a thing. No wonder regret eats away at Solus.
No, it's worse than that. That isn't what Solus regrets. Those severed dreams will be driven mad, a disembodied blight of pain and anger.
Mierda.
You can't. That's not possible.
When a warden hears the calling, it's like a song in their mind. Sound familiar to you, Lace?
The Song of Lyrium. Of the Titans.
We think of the Blight as this monstrous force with no mercy, no compassion. Evil incarnate. Instead, it's a caged animal, mistreated and imprisoned for centuries, until all it knows is fear.
If the Blight is the Titan's dreams, can we... I don't know, heal it? Bring it back from all that anger?
I'm afraid I have no idea. In theory, it would be possible to restore dreams to the Titans.
You can't set it free before it's healed. You'd have blighted Titans laying waste to the entire world.
The Titans are a problem for later. We have Elgernon and Gillanane to deal with now.
And then I want Solus to look me in the eye and answer for what he did.
Each of these memories has been a deeper regret, and almost all of them involve Mythal.
Only one mural left to uncover, by my count. If we find it, we'll see what's worse than this.
I knew that you would find me soon enough. You need the power of a god, the strength that I alone still carry.
The blighted Evanuris will soon break free from their prison. I must make a stronger one that can contain them.
While the prison is important, it is not the only goal you seek.
Why should I not tear down the veil and bring back immortality to all the elven people? They deserve it.
The elven people of today do not deserve to see the world they love be torn apart to salve your conscience.
I must fix what I have broken. I am sorry.
As am I, old friend.
Solus killed Mythal? After all that? Is this another memory from a different time?
No. He wore that same outfit in the Inquisition. We knew Solus woke up in this world without most of his power. Now we know how he got it back.
By killing the only other god around and stealing her power.
All that epic magic and godly power. In the end, it comes down to love and murder. Same as always.
Every big mistake Solus made is tied to Mythal. He sacrificed his life as a spirit to join her.
He sacrificed his morals when he created the dagger to stop the Titans.
When the other gods struck her down, he destroyed the Elven Empire to avenge her.
Then he wakes up in this world, where everything's gone but his mistakes. And there she is, alive.
And after all he's done, she sides against him again.
All these mistakes are his fault. And hers, too. If she won't help him fix the world, of course he has to kill her.
So, how does everything we know help us now?
He's being honest about fighting the Blight. Whatever happens, he won't risk letting it back out into the world.
Agreed. But he has a plan to escape that prison, and not one we'll like.
He turned on Mythal, the one person he was actually loyal to. There's no way he won't turn on us.
He's a spirit, or was once. He might be able to possess someone, affect minds, all the things spirits do.
He created the Veil. His very nature is tied to it. That will be a source of strength, but also a potential weakness.
Mythal has him all messed up. Anything about her or Elgernon is gonna make him angry. Sloppy.
Solus thinks he knows what's best for everyone. Anything he does, he'll do while telling himself he's the hero.
Solus has caused a lot of damage. But he's not like Elgernon, trying to wreck the world to rule it. He's trying to repair the damage he caused. And he knows he's made mistakes. There might be hope for him.
You don't think he'll turn on us?
No, he's totally going to turn on us. I mean, after that.
You have witnessed the Protector's tale, Dweller, almost to its end.
Almost. How can there be more?
When the mighty fall, their echoes cross the ages. An audience is warranted. Speak with your visitor. She awaits you in the crossroads.
Well met, Rook.
How did you get here?
I did tell you I had my ways through Illuvians when I introduced you to the Inquisitor, did I not?
The Illuvians in general, yes. But not the Dreadwolf's Crossroads.
I would think you have more pressing questions at the moment. Questions about Solus and Mythal?
Mythal?
The two gods have always been linked, have they not? First, when Mythal bade her companion spirit to abandon the Fade and take on mortal form. Then, when Solus spilled Mythal's mortal blood, that he might absorb her power as his own.
Wait, how do you know exactly what we saw of Solus's past?
Think upon it, Rook. You saw for yourself in the Dreadwolf's memories. When Mythal stood against the gods' manipulations of the Blight, she was betrayed and struck down. Yet she survived and returned ages later to aid the Inquisition in its hour of need. How?
The Elven gods had access to magic beyond anything we can imagine.
To be sure, but it matters less what they possessed than what they were. You recall that the first elves were spirits, do you not? Mythal was a spirit turned elven. And when her body was struck down to spirit, she returned, her essence sheltered in a willing mortal vessel. Over the centuries, she journeyed from host to host, slowly amassing her former power anew. Until once again, she was struck down, on this occasion, by Solus. He absorbed her power, but not her memories.
Then where did they... Wait. You?
As you say.
You're Mythal? That's why the ambient magic around you is so fractured.
Such a flattering picture you paint of this ancient bond.
What? That was like how Elgernon and Gillenane can talk in your head, but...
'Twas Mythal you heard, her echoes. Yet I am not the goddess returned.
What are you then?
I once feared Mythal would consume me were I to carry her, but 'twas not so. I remained free-willed and mortal. What I now possess is but a spark of Mythal, shadowed memories through which to sift for meaning. As to our admixture, I suspect you have questions.
So there's the soul of an elven god inside you. How does that even happen?
Mythal's last host was my mother, Flemeth.
Oh.
When I learned she intended me to become the next receptacle of an ancient god's soul, I feared naught would be left of my own. It inevitably came to pass on a deep night. I was awakened by the presence of a blaze of magic in the shape of a woman who both was and was not my mother.
I don't think I'd recover from that.
Neither did I, at the start. Mythal's memories were both gift and burden, this blazing woman told me, but I must accept them of my own accord. The decision was paralyzing. What would it mean to become such a host? What would be lost if I refused? In the end, 'twas something in my mother's voice which guided me.
What was that?
Regret. Not the regret of a god, but of a mother who knew she would never see me again. And so, my mind remains my own. What I gained was knowledge, both Mythal's and of those who bore her.
Do you have information we can use against Gillenane or Elgernon? Or Solus?
The last time Mythal faced Elgernon and Gillenane, she was struck down by the very dagger you now carry.
What about Solus?
You may recall he murdered Mythal's former host to claim her godly might as his own. I hoard no untapped magical secrets, Rook. What I do possess, I share freely with you and the Veil Jumpers.
All right. How can you carry Mythal's soul if you're not an elf?
Her spark has sheltered within both elves and humans who were sympathetic to her in thought and circumstance. Mythal's last host was a woman wronged, trapped by those sworn to love her. We may readily imagine their kinship.
The fall of our civilization, the wars, everything elves went through. Where was Mythal for us then?
After the god's betrayal, she was a shadow of her former self, bereft of her power, slowly regaining her strength over the centuries. So she aided the elves as she could, speaking in dreams and offering counsel that ended blights and prevented wars.
At least now we know. You would have met Solus in the Inquisition, right?
I did indeed. 'Twas before I possessed Mythal's memories. At the time, I thought Solus a scowling elven apostate whose sole passion was finding arguments. He heard me, in all my ignorance, expound on the histories of the elven people, explaining legends he had witnessed himself.
Bet he loved that.
'Tis not a memory that brings me pride.
You didn't come out here just to tell me you're Mythal.
I am not Mythal in her entirety, but yes, the Dreadwolf has occasion to visit you in dreams, where he portions out advice. And now, after finding his memories, you have peered into his deepest sorrows. Tell me then, what do you make of Solus?
I should ask you. Mythal knew Solus better than anyone.
I would influence your answer. Or do you mean to discover if I would stand directly against the Dread Wolf were there a need?
Would you?
I shall aid you in any way but that, even had I the power. What has passed between Solus and Mythal? I beg you, do not ask this of me again.
Solus talks a lot about what has to be done, being forced to make hard choices. But it's like he's trying to talk himself into it. I think, deep down, he doesn't entirely believe what he's saying.
'Tis exactly like the old wolf to tie himself into the most intricate knots. 'Tis not malice which made Solus your opponent, but conviction, a belief that only he may halt what he set in motion. Yet Solus was once beloved of Mythal. 'Tis his very loyalty and love for his people that led to the tragedy we now face. You may be in a position to determine how it ends, more so than either of you might realize.
Well, that's not terrifying at all.
You have been thrust into the lives of gods. Fate will have its way, whether or without our permission.
Even more comforting, Morrigan.
If you would shape the outcome of your battle, I've one last secret to share. When Mythal was struck down by the other gods, it was with her own lyrium dagger, the dagger you now carry. Solus recovered it from Elganon, and from it extracted a fragment of Mythal that had lain hidden within its depths. This fragment, a younger sister to the one I carry, if you will, resides here, in the crossroads. I can open the way for you. Find her, survive the encounter, and the essence you obtain will aid you in times to come.
Another fragment of Mythal? In addition to the one inside you?
You are aware of what the word fragment means, are you not? One small piece of many, formed when something greater is broken. The first elves were spirits, as you well know, and when a spirit is broken, it may shatter into pieces, each holding part of the original. Among the ancient elves who became known as gods, Dirthaman and his brother, Falondine, are but one example.
All of that sounded great until survive the encounter.
You know Solus, and have seen Elganon, and memories of Mythal. They are creatures of emotion, as all spirits are. The fragment of Mythal that resides in me lived among mortals for thousands of years. She has grown wiser and more patient. This younger sister has not. She is the essence of Mythal as a god. She is unlikely to listen to polite requests, and though she is but a fragment of the goddess, the battle will test you sorely.
If she's just going to attack us, why tell us about her at all? We have enough enemies already.
A fragment of a god's essence is a powerful thing. It may give you options against Elganon and Gillenane, or against the Dreadwolf himself, should he prove as cunning and treacherous as ever.
If I were to try to talk with her, do you have any suggestions?
She will demand respect, but detest flattery. She appreciates righteous anger, but will not tolerate pity. She is, for want of better phrasing, prickly. But if you are determined to try, then I wish you luck.
You would know this aspect of Mythal better than anyone. Could you try talking to her?
I dare say she would attack me on sight.
Spirits can't get along with fragments of each other?
Spirits, certainly. But the aspects of a self-righteous god who have walked different paths for ages? One bears the insult of her betrayal by the Evanurus, and then by Solus, as fresh wounds, insult upon injury. The other once fell in love with an Alamari chieftain and lived happily in a swamp for centuries. Each reminds the other that another path existed, that they could have been wrong, and nothing angers Mythal like being wrong.
What kind of spirit was Mythal before she became an elf? I know Solus is elven for pride.
Mythal enjoyed ruling and having power, but it came not from the overweening desire to crush resistance, as is the case with Algernon. The emotion that inspired her might best be described as benevolence, a guiding hand inclined to kindness. But like any spirit, when angered or twisted against her purpose, a more violent aspect arose. Where the Dreadwolf's wisdom gave way to pride when the world did not meet his standards, Mythal's benevolence gave way to retribution. After all, when kindness fails, the guilty must be punished.
Thank you for the information, Morrigan.
There is one more thing, if I may. Something whispered not by myself, but Mythal. The elves have learned many of the glories and horrors of ancient Elvenon. Yet your people live in this world now as the old elves never could. Know it as they could not. There is your strength. 'Tis why you shall surpass what came before one day.
Did Mythal see this? Is it a prediction?
A hope from a mother to her distant children, no less beloved than any before them.
How fares your battle?
The gods are moving against Weishaupt and the Grey Wardens. We've heard rumors the Darkspawn are being led by an archdemon.
And you have questions?
I need to know how archdemons relate to the gods. Are they just like the Blighted Dragons, or are they something else? I also need to know how to deal with the gods if they show up at Weishaupt.
I propose a bargain. I will answer your question if you answer mine.
What?
How are the Grey Wardens? Do they understand the truth of the danger yet?
We've been through this already. You agreed to help me.
What did you think my help would look like, Rook? I need to know that you are prepared.
No. The First Warden still refuses to listen.
As I feared.
I tried diplomacy. I tried being firm. Nothing worked.
When I asked why you should be trusted to lead the fight, you said that nobody else was doing it. That sufficed for me, but you will need more to convince the Grey Wardens. They see themselves as destined to lead this battle. You cannot defeat Elganan and Gillenane without the Wardens. What will you do to bring them to your side?
I don't have to convince all of them. I just have to convince the First Warden.
Or remove him.
Enjoyable as that is to imagine, I doubt the rest of the Wardens would approve.
Did you know the Evanurus once numbered many more than those whose names survive in the Elven Pantheon? One warlord was particularly cruel. I sought to free his slaves, but so fearsome was his reputation that none would join me.
What did you do?
I made people laugh at him.
How did that help?
For 12 years. Every sound near him, from whispered pleas to shouted oaths to crackling fire, all became mocking laughter. His mind broke under the ridicule, and when he fell, his slaves rose up and joined me.
I doubt laughter is going to work on the First Warden.
If not that, then what?
Whatever it takes.
Easily said, but it will have to be enough for now. You have answered my question, and I owe you an answer in return.
Yes. The old gods of Tevinter, the archdemons.
There never were Tevinter gods. The archdemons, as you call them, were always merely the weapons of the Evanurus.
All right. Let's hope we can find the gods before they find their weapons.
Unfortunately, the Dragon Thrall's life force is bound to the Evanurus as both power and protection. You will not be able to kill or likely even harm one of the Evanurus until their Dragon Thrall is slain.
The old stories of the Tevinter gods have them whispering in the dreams of ancient magisters. How did they do that, if they were just tools of the elven gods?
The archdemons were once high dragons. The Evanurus bound them as a source of power. When I imprisoned the gods, their dragons remained free. That was my mistake.
How so?
I never bound a dragon to myself, for I believed that to enslave another creature was immoral. As such, I did not understand the power that connection gave. I thought the prison I had made was perfect. But their dragons were the conduit through which they spoke to dreaming minds.
What can you tell me about the archdemons themselves?
Each is different, shaped by the whims and ego of its master. Elganon is the Lord of Tyranny. He would have ruled alone had Mythal not forced him to share power. Those who are strong, he molds into dictators themselves, with visions of godhood. Those who are weak, he crushes. His archdemon reflects him. It is huge, to feed his ego, the epitome of dragonkind, bent to his will.
What about Gillenane and her dragon? Pride and ego can blind someone. We can exploit that.
By contrast, Gillenane was a servant of Andrul, whose skill at making monsters earned her promotion to the Evanuris. She is brilliant, ambitious, and unconstrained by anything you would understand as morality. In a kinder world, you would never need to see what she has done to her archdemon. In this world, I only hope you kill it quickly. In any event, the Evanuris will not be vulnerable until their archdemons are dead.
Any other surprises we should know about?
Even with their dragons dead, the Evanuris are powerful and well protected. You will need to use my dagger, the one you recovered. It can pierce their enchantments and strike them down.
All right. Kill the archdemons, then use the dagger to take down the gods.
Even a single opportunity to strike the Evanuris down will be rare, fleeting, and costly. You will not have another chance to catch them unawares. When you strike, you must be fully prepared.
A god's fragment, sharper than the whole. Prevail, or be sundered completely.
We're getting close to where Morrigan said that other fragment of Mythal was. Has to be her.
A fragment of Mythal herself. We talking or fighting?
Guess we'll find out.
You are Rook. I have seen you and your companions. I never again expected to see my children in the Dreadwolf's crossroads. And you know who I am?
Mythal.
The part of me that survived betrayal by the rest of the Evanuris, if this can be called surviving. Solas. He drew me from the dagger that struck me down, but what is left of me can only survive here. I cannot return to the world, and even the true Fade is denied me. All I can do is watch. Have you come to seek the blessing of your god? Or did you come to ask your god to sacrifice herself to help you defeat the monsters Elganon and Gillenane have become?
Morrigan was right. Talking to you is a waste of time.
You listen to the human and the cowardly echo she carries. Pathetic. You desire the essence of a god and think you deserve it. Then take it if you can!
Everyone get ready.
That's one big dragon. No problem.
Get clear!
Got it! Whatever gets it done.
Right. Take these shots. Understood.
I'm ready, Rook. I'm ready to go again.
Say the word.
I'm good to go again.
Get clear.
Tell me what you need.
Good job, Dameron.
No problem.
Get back.
Ready again. Out of there. Move.
Everybody okay?
Nothing I can't patch up.
We have it. The essence of Mythal the Protector.
I heard legends about her when I was growing up. And now?
It burns just being near it. But this is the power we need to finish this.
All we need now is the right target.
I think the moment is coming. When we can turn the tide, we'll know.